7, 1, 2, 5. Are we doing this right?
No. We're out here. Well, I think we're doing better than most because I literally just filled up. No, I'm not going to lie to you guys like that. I put $20 in the truck at the gas station, and I see some dude just walking out with all the toilet paper that place had, plus Arrowhead water, like the jugs.
Yeah.
I think, what are they, gallons?
Yeah. Oh, I think.
And I was like, bro, like, people are taking it. I don't know. Like I was saying, ignorance.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I believe that. Because I don't think I really don't know. I feel like I'm
But it's
lost,
one of those.
sort of.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you don't concentrate on it, you're not going to stress about it, and you're just going to go on about your life. But once it actually affects you, it's going to become real. Like it's going to be like, holy fuck. So it's like there's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is because we don't obviously. I don't know if you do, but
Can you turn off that fucking cooler, or do you have something in there? I can hear that.
Turn it off while you can hear it.
Yeah. But yeah. So I want to start off this podcast by saying, because this is going to be coronavirus heavy. We don't know shit about that. Don't go off of our fucking facts. Everybody else watches. Damn, you just turned everything off, dude. Yeah. I think it's still recording though. This shit got all fucked up. Yeah, my bad about that. So, wait, why did I apologize for your fucking mistake?
It's just the two of us.
Oh, that's right too. It's just
me and
it's just Martin and Alex.
I think it's Martin and I, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, just so people know my name.
I do know some stuff.
Third person. Well, yeah. I'm just saying that fucking don't get facts from us. We don't know shit. We watch the same news that you guys watch. We watch random YouTube videos and Joe Rogan podcasts for our information. So, but yeah, let's get in on it.
I think that's the hardest thing is you don't really know what the true facts are. I will say I lean towards listening to Joe Rogan more.
Oh yeah, because
in honesty, you know what I mean?
I think he's at the point where
he's earned that.
He's not only earned it, but I think he probably feels some type of pressure to like try to give out as much solid information as he can instead of bullshit, because there's too many eyes on him. So he seems like a good enough human being to be like, hey, I have an obligation to like try to get the truth out.
I strongly believe that, but as well, he's financially stable enough where he doesn't have to put out false information just to get clicks. Like,
yeah,
you know
not a clickbait. Like those fucking stupid YouTubers. They're like I don't know. They'll give you some like, oh, coronavirus has a cure, and then you're gonna click on it.
Well, and I've gotten caught up in that so many times.
Yeah. And
I'm watching the video, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? You fucking got me. Fuck you guys.
Shit. But nah, I mean, going back to what you were saying, so that guy was walking out with jugs of water and toilet paper?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is they shut down the schools here in where we're located, also surrounding areas.
Yeah.
And that's another situation where not everyone has paid sick time or paid vacation.
Yeah, so that's where it gets real because, you know, people weren't expecting this. You know, what if like they're still catching up from Christmas? You know, that was only like what, 2.5 months ago. What if you know, they just bought something expensive? Like, I mean, just
TV?
I just did today, you motherfucker.
Oh, you ended up going through with it?
No. That's why. I mean, I put it on the Best Buy credit card, so it's cool. But I mean, TVs are cheap right now. But I mean, it's funny because in my head, like my priorities are so fucked up because instead of like, you know, not spending, maybe putting some money in stocks because they say those are all crazy, all low right now, or I don't know, just trying to buy some toilet paper, I guess, or like some fucking canned food. I go and buy a TV because my mentality is like, if I want to be quarantined, I want to chill.
Well, that's where I think
that should have looked dope.
The streaming services are the ones that are going to be banking right now because everyone's, if it goes to that point where we're all having to stay home.
That's when you start doing video.
Dude, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Podcasts are about to blow up. And then my mom told me, because I told her that story about the dude buying the toilet paper. She's like, yeah, I don't understand why people are buying all this toilet paper. Why don't you just jump in the shower? I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, or like I think Indians have this
Native Americans. I don't think
no.
they like to be called Indians anymore.
No, not Native Americans. I'm talking about Indians from India.
Oh, the dot Indians.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna agree
Not
with that.
politically correct. but-
Well, so they have I forget what it's called, so I'm butchering this. So, but they have a rag that they use that they soak it and they clean themselves
Oh,
out
some
with.
Slumdog Millionaire shit.
Well, it's crazy because I've seen other podcasts with this girl that invented a bidet. Well, not invented one, but she has her own bidet. That's like a really simple one that anyone could attach to any toilet. And she kind of explained it really good, where she was like, we're kind of old school in like hygiene, where you just wipe your ass with fucking toilet paper. That doesn't clean everything. That doesn't do anything unless you're using like maybe wipes or something. But if you're just using toilet paper,
You're
it's
just
like,
smearing that
can
shit.
you imagine if a bird shits on your face? That's what she said. Are you just gonna get toilet paper or just a piece of paper and just wipe it off and you feel good? Fuck no. You're gonna want to scrub that shit. Yeah, you're gonna put soap on it. So I mean, that's crazy.
No, but when I wipe my ass, well, first of all, I shave my ass inside my butt.
Do your
crack.
farts sound different?
Yeah, when I shave, yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoy shaving more like. So I shave my ass first of all, so it doesn't get smeared on the like in your hair.
Yeah.
And then also I'll stick my finger in my, not all the way in my butthole, but like
to try to get
a little
as much
bit
as
just
possible.
to get, because if you don't do that, it's still in there. You feel me? So I understand a bidet. It's just that I don't know how it go. I guess I do know how. I'm just lazy as fuck, a procrastinator. I could order one online, but
Yeah,
it just
like the one I was
seems like a
talking
lot.
about was a Hello Tushy.
Hello Tushy or Hello
Tushy,
Tushy.
yeah.
And then I feel like I spend too much time on the toilet as of now. Like my legs will fall asleep sometimes when I stand up.
You're just on your phone and shit.
And I get lost in YouTube. Fuck you. I love you, YouTube, but I get lost in that motherfucker.
Well, let's get back to this fucking virus. So, it's fucking crazy. Like schools are shutting down, theme parks are shutting down. The NBA was like the first one to like really make a big decision like that.
Well, no, I don't believe that. They weren't the first because soccer in Italy and like places like that, they wouldn't have. They would play without the crowd.
Well, yeah, that was already a thing. The NBA was going to start that the following game. So, but I'm saying canceling the whole season,
Oh, yeah.
like the players and everything, not even trying to make any type of money off of it.
And the Lakers are killing it right now
Yeah, that's
too,
a
and the
conspiracy.
playoffs are about to like start. So they would have made. You have to imagine. This is how you know, like we were saying, it's not a conspiracy because the NBA would have made shitload of money just because
Probably
the Lakers and the
billions.
Clippers will probably end up
Billions.
playing in the playoffs. And you know how much revenue that would just bring with people going to the games because the home and away games are in the same fucking place. And one was, I don't even remember. I don't even think I was born when the Lakers. I might be lying. But I don't even remember the last time Lakers and Clippers played in the playoffs against each other.
Yeah, me either.
So it's been a minute.
But yeah, that was getting to my next point. Is like with them making that decision, it's like so people are going off of these bro science facts, like bro, it's just a fucking flu. You can't get it, you're young, blah blah blah, or you'll get it but you'll survive. It's like yeah, but we all have family, and I'm not that selfish to think that fucking I want old people to die, and like and just going off all this bro science stuff, like just wash your hands, just fucking use hand sanitizer, use these masks, like that. Fucking people a lot smarter than us have said don't even work, like that guy that was on Joe Rogan. But also like
Sauna does not work.
oh yeah, that too. I listened to that. But also I think something that really stuck out to me, well, just thinking about it, was the NBA canceling those games. Like you said, they're losing millions. Coachella moving to October. The potential of losing millions, people canceling, or the artists, the lineup not being that dope.
I don't think it's potentially. They are losing.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. No, but I mean, Coachella's such a big deal that they'll sell out again. I'm confident there, but Disneyland shutting down.
Thank God.
Why?
Fucking hate Disneyland.
No.
That's like a fucking Asian fucking trap. All theme parks are full of Asians. I love you guys, but
yeah, but
sorry.
what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Dude, you fucking racist fuck. They're not from Wuhan, China. But yeah, so yeah, it's that's the thing that I was kind of like going back and forth with in my head. I'm like yeah, I can go off all this stupid bro science and everything that I'm seeing online, but there's people a lot smarter than you and I. There's fucking people that are gonna lose millions upon millions, and we know America's greedy. Like they'll do whatever it takes not to lose millions. So that means there's fucking more that we don't know. So it's kind of a scary situation.
There's so much more than we don't know because I don't even know how to navigate Google anymore, truthfully, because you can find one thing that fits your narrative and what you want it to be, and then all of a sudden you can find something else that totally contradicts that.
Yeah, well, I mean that goes with SEO is like keywords. It's like if you're looking for something, you're most likely gonna find that. Mm-hmm. If you want, hey, the coronavirus isn't shit, and fuck it, you're gonna find something that says coronavirus isn't shit. An argument. If you say coronavirus is gonna kill me tomorrow, you'll find that narrative. And a great example, finding that balance is really hard.
A great example was because my son, he's in 2nd grade and he was reading a book on Titanic.
Yeah.
And then he told me because he I don't know, I don't know how he got this information, but he said Titanic was sunk by a missile. And I was like, bruh, I don't even know if they had missiles back then, but he's like, oh, I seen that on Google or one of his. It's crazy what 8-year-olds talk about at school. Imagine my son's coming home now thinking anything China, even if anything's made in China, has the coronavirus. I can just only imagine what these kids are saying.
Yeah, but I also know that's a really easy joke for an 8-year-old mind to come up with, you know? And that's probably coming off of, or bouncing off from their parents. Like, obviously parents make stupid jokes. Huh?
So are you calling me an idiot?
I did earlier. Fuck, that shit was hilarious. I was waiting for you to get mad in that text message. Well, you idiot, and you fucking idiot. But yeah, long story short, that's fucked up. The whole them saying, oh, just because something's made in China, like you're gonna get the coronavirus. But now this shit's crazy, dude. Like you were saying that everyone has, again, their own story. We don't know if it's true or not. You were saying that Iran, they're building mass graves.
Well, I was listening to Bill Simmons. He had Gladwell on, and Gladwell spoke about an article that came out, I believe, yesterday, saying that Iran was lying about their numbers because I guess it's pretty overwhelming over there, the people that are getting it, the amount of people that are getting it. So I guess a satellite caught glimpses of them digging mass graves.
Yeah.
Which obviously then they led into China's probably not giving us their correct numbers as well.
And obviously a lot of people don't trust China. For one, they're communist countries, so they control their narrative.
And they control, like you're saying,
control the internet,
then everything. All that shit.
They monitor, for sure, 100%. They monitor all their whole population, but yeah. So we're not getting all the true facts.
Well, and then he also, in the same podcast, he also stated that we are 2 weeks behind what's going on in Italy.
Well, Italy, that's the part that scares me the most.
Because that place is just fucking shut the fuck down.
Because Italy is a tourist country. It's fucking beautiful. And the people there are generally fucking healthy from what we see anyway. I've never been. But it just seems like a cool country. But
I think it's less. I think it's a less stressful environment over there.
That's what they say. I think they have siestas.
Yeah, and they also have like a long amount of time that they get off from work. I forgot what it was called, but I think it's called holiday period, and they get like 2 months off or something like that. Siesta, something crazy like that.
Where they can actually have.
And we only get what here in America. You get 2 weeks of I guess the main thing is we have 2 weeks of vacation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bullshit.
You can't even get shit together in 2 weeks.
So yeah, going back to Italy, it's like again, there's fucking people a lot smarter than you and I that fucking made that decision and said, hey, we're shutting down the whole fucking country. I don't care how much it fucking fucks with our economy or how difficult it is logistically or the amount of panic it's going to cause. This is how serious this virus is, and we have to contain it in this way.
And then I guess what's going on over there is that it's not even just older people over 60 that are dying. It's even the younger people because they just don't have any room in the hospitals. So they're literally going like back in the World War II, back in those days, how they would say, oh, he's going to die. They would mark their foreheads like, oh, he's dying. Like, he has no chance.
This morning,
they're doing that over there. So that's when you know it's way more, it's an epidemic, like what they're saying. Well, if you're deciding who's living and who's dying at that point, then it's way over our heads already.
Well, that's why there was I should have fucking wrote these notes down, but I did read something today where they were saying, hey, like if you're in the medical field, we're asking you to come back. Like, yeah, I think they have like this huge budget where they're, putting it into medical resources, obviously. So if you have any type of medical history, or you were a nurse before, you might have retired, or you went a different direction, come back. Obviously, we'll pay you. We'll take care of you. We need the resources, extra resources. So that's fucking insane, and that's scary.
But also, it's a lot of it's like we're running out of equipment, IV bags, like for little things. Because on top of the coronavirus,
I did write down.
Yeah, on top of the coronavirus, people still have other shit that's going on.
Yeah.
Like they were saying, if you don't have a heart,
existing,
if you don't have something that's helping you breathe, like I forgot what it's called, but then like that's gold over there. Like the defibrillator or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm ignorant as fuck. This is all fucking from. I'm taking little pieces here and there from different podcasts and just relaying this shit, but that's how it is nowadays. But even if you break your leg and like you just don't have the room to take care of those people, so you're gonna have to decide who's gonna live in. You're playing God basically, and that's just nuts.
So that's what
how it gets to that point.
Saying. I mean, fucking Sky, everybody knows from the last podcast, is a conspiracy theorist, so I don't know how much truth there is to this. But he said that with Trump doing this whole national emergency, is that what it's called? That I think they're opening up hotels and places like that to be able to use, like to store people with the virus. But going back to people with pre-existing conditions and stuff, like that sucks. Could you imagine you already have, let's say, an autoimmune disease,
diabetes, they're saying,
like a severe case of diabetes, cancer, all that stuff, and then you get hit with this, like fuck.
And they're also saying that a lot of the equipment that we use
that's what I was gonna say.
Is located or distributed from China, India. Like it's outsourced. It's not here at home, so we can't just.
So that was a video I was going to show you. It's like, so that's a good point. Is a lot of the stuff we get outsourced here, it's obviously cheaper to make overseas, and then we get it and use it here. But also, not only that, if we do have it here, let's say if we can make it here, the actual packaging of holding something in place. Let's say if you have this IV bag, but the actual plastic and the clips that hold it or whatever it is, we don't have those molds in the manufacturing the plastic to put that together. That's all bought for fucking cents from China to construct it together, or already made constructed, and then we fill it up. So like we're just, things are gonna get a little wild if this continues, which they say it is. It's gonna get to the point where it's like people are gonna have to fucking learn shit, and we're gonna have to like really like kind of just fucking adapt to this new kind of I don't know what to call that, way of life or situation or temper situation.
But that's what humans do. They adapt. It might take, certain people are gonna fall off. Like I might even fucking fall off because I don't know how to.
It's really hard for me to think Americans have it in them the way they did fucking back in the day when we were a lot more hands on with things and blah blah blah.
I feel like
the old timers are gonna show us some shit.
I know, but I believe that as well. But there's some people, but also I feel like if your back is against the wall, you have children, you have things that you need to do. You're gonna
flip
fucking
that switch.
You're gonna fucking do what you need to do.
Yeah, no, and I agree. But I'm just saying, like, there's gonna be a lot of like fucking people that give up. I feel like
there's gonna be a lot of fuckery,
because they don't want to put in that work.
And they just want to. Those are the fuckers buying the weapons. Shoot some motherfucker in the head, and I'll fucking shoot someone in the fucking
to protect
head.
my family.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. But I wanted to go back to that point of you saying that they're asking people that were in the medical field to come back and things like that. Them closing the schools down here in California, I don't know if they've done that in other states. But a lot of nurses, they were saying, and health professionals, they have kids that are younger that are in school. They also don't have daycare, and nurses don't get paid that good enough where they can just be like, oh, I'll just pay for daycare. And then also on top of that,
they make pretty good money.
They do, but then also that daycare is going to shut down too. Oh, unless 100%. You find some little Mexican lady that's going to take care
usually
of
like that. That's when you have the hookup, when you do have that Mexican lady that's doing it at her crib. But But yeah, when it's like a populated place, like a daycare where everyone goes, like those are being shut down for sure because
Well, like the ones that have boards, like board of directors and stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, I think just any daycare in general because going back to that dude on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was saying that kids are the biggest transmitters because they touch everything, they grab everything. They're in school with all these other freaking kids that come from different backgrounds. Their parents might have it, they might not, blah blah blah, and they bring all that home.
And
I feel like daycares they don't make sense.
And then on top of that, the daycares that wouldn't be closing would be older ladies that just open their house up to parents that are struggling or that just don't have the time. They're mostly. This is general.
Generalizing,
yeah. What the fuck? I'm lost. What I was thinking, but they're older, most likely.
Yeah,
taking care of them. So I don't know. I just think if they already did it. Closing down the schools is a big step because some parents will have to stay home, and like I said, not everyone gets paid. And I'm going through it right now where I had to come out with $1,300 just for my transmission, and I live check to check, and that's just a big ass fucking blow. You know what I mean? And I'm just lucky enough where I have parents, and we also live with her parents, where it's not like we're struggling. You know what I mean? But I can just imagine a single parent who gets food stamps and all that shit, and then having to deal with this is just like a whole nother fucking level, a whole nother just stress level. Period.
Yeah, and you know that brings up a good point. It's like there's so many people out there that that don't have the money. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they're out there buying these supplies and doing whatever it takes to really plan for the future. But if they don't have work, they're literally holding on to these supplies. And going back to what I was telling you, there's this lady that she comes from a third world country in South America, where it was a communist country, where she grew up on like very minimal supplies that the country provided, like a little bit of rice, a little bit of beans or whatever it was. That's what everyone got. And she made a good point today. She was like, yeah, all these people are panicking, but they've also never had a struggle and lived really poor where like how to ration. And I was like, damn, that makes a good point. I mean, I didn't grow up necessarily like that, but I did grow up in a big family from immigrant parents, and I know when they were trying to ration, like for all of us, so like they would have enough money for the next paycheck or whatever it was that we were doing. So it's like, I know a lot of people are gonna have to adapt.
I understand that point, but then you have to think of, you have a car note, you have your mortgage, like there's other shit you have to pay for, your lights, your like there's a whole, if you're not working, you're fucked, low key. Yeah,
but I think there's gonna be a point where those people are gonna say, fuck all that. What are they gonna do? Come and get me? Yeah, come and get me. Then.
If it gets to a crazy point,
because the way I'm thinking about it now in my head,
Armageddon shit,
is the shit's gonna get worse. But if it's only 3 weeks, people could tough it out. But if it's gonna get to the point where it's like, I'm not gonna fucking pay Chase fucking credit card and this shit this month, like, we'll figure this shit out later.
Do you think it's a seasonal thing, as in this is flu season, so this is where it's living, but when it becomes summertime,
that's like the bro science in me is what I heard was that this virus can't survive in heat, like in the winter. I mean, in the summer, it's alive and well because of the winter.
Hit the sauna, y'all.
No, but like I said, the sauna doesn't work because it goes in your lungs. Yeah. I guess like
that's how you get pneumonia and shit.
But that shit's wild. Shit's fucking wild. And I wonder if I already had it, because there was a point this winter, I think it was in January, where I was really sick to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. And then I got better in 2 days, and I felt better. But I wonder if like I already got it and I didn't know.
I would not even know if I had it or not, because I haven't been to the doctors since probably 2009.
Damn. Yeah, I can't remember the last time. It's been so long. I mean, and that's a male thing. Guys usually do that. They don't go to the doctors if they don't have anything. A lot of the time they're scared, or they're just like, fuck that. I don't want to be fucking told.
And I don't even know how to like find a doctor. Because I have insurance. It's just a bitch to have to look through everything and find a doctor. I'd rather be like, who's your doctor? And I'm like, all right, I'll just go there.
Medical cards are fucking so crazy these days, where they're just like paper.
Oh yeah,
they're so thin. Yeah, like what is this bullshit? I could lose that.
Well, yeah, and then just ask for
the dentist one's a little thicker. It's like still plastic.
But I've been looking for I need to go to a chiropractor.
Oh, dude, I would go to one. I need to start going again, but no, that shit helps, dude. You know, with your fucking posture and
because I've been
just feel a
noticing
little loose.
when I put my even when I'm just laying down watching TV, if I put my hands over my head of like behind my head and they're elevated, they'll fall asleep. Like the blood's not rushing. Like, I don't understand. Like, or when I go to sleep and I wake up, my whole body, like both my arms are asleep, and it's just like
I don't know.
I think that has to something has to be going. Something has to be twisted right there or something in my shoulders.
Do you ever got deep tissue?
Oh, I loved. I've had it once.
No, like a legit.
Yeah, I've gone to a place and they deep tissued me out, and that shit was fire.
I'm gonna hook you up where you won't say it's fire because you haven't get a real one. No, there's this lady that she used to work at a place. This is some Mexican shit. She worked at a place. She has the legit beds and everything. She has to set up in her garage. She's retired now, but she's still doing it on the side.
How much?
Mad cheap, dude. I mean, if you want to do the full body, it's like $30, $25. But if you want just your back, it's like $15.
I want everything. I want the
dude,
cheeks and everything.
You're saying that, but it fucking hurts. First you get on the bed, that hurts. And that kind of hurts. It's like legit bed where it digs deep. And then she puts this fucking lotion on you.
Or you have chonies?
No, you're chonies.
Oh,
she puts this like warming lotion on you, so like, you know, I guess your muscles heat up. I don't know what the fuck. Long story short, she's fucking this butch ass lady that gets deep in everything, dude. But I've never had my stomach straightened out, my wrist. You can feel all these veins, and she goes over them, and it fucking hurts, dude. Your calves, your fucking toes, everything. What hurt the most was my jaw, like doing my fucking face.
That sounds like a good time, Shouty.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'll get you up. Just
let me know. Because the last time I
every
went,
Mexican hood, if you know, someone knows what's up, they always have someone that has a massage dude or a chiropractor in the garage somewhere.
No, the last time I had deep tissue, it was crazy because they went into my arm and somehow she collected everything at my wrist and then just pulled my wrist and it like made a whole bunch of pop sounds.
Yeah.
Like I can feel her bringing the bubbles down from like my bicep all the way to my wrist. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she just cracks it. I was like,
that shit works.
It hurts at the moment, but once it's over and you get home, you're like, oh, and then you just start feeling like so like loose.
That's what I was gonna say was like I tend to sleep wrong a lot. Like I'll fucking be watching TV or whatever, and then I'll just knock out and I'll have too many pillows up and then my neck's all fucked up.
I think that's the thing too.
So like I'll do that and then I work on a computer all the time, so my posture is fucked up.
Posture's fucked.
So those are the two things, but also there's another one. Well, yeah, just my neck will be fucked up sometimes. So going to chiropractor, that helps, but going to this lady, and then my broken wrist. When I had a broken wrist, she fucking ironed out all the fucking veins, dude, and I haven't had any type of pain since then.
Maybe I should go there first and then.
Dude, yeah, I say you do, but yeah, the neck thing too, because like
I feel mine all in my like this muscle, my traps.
Oh, she also cracks you like a chiropractor too. Like at the end, she cracks your neck.
It's low key scary though. I've been into the YouTube videos, like this doctor with beard.
Ones.
Like he puts like a pick into their arm, and, like starts hammering it. I'm like, fuck.
I want to do some of those because some of those fucking look fucking like they feel good as fuck.
But then also, I've seen because chiropractors, they're not doctors.
Yeah, they say it's some bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So you could just go take a course and fucking end up being chiropractor. So if they pull your neck they could paralyze your ass. Like I want to know the numbers of people that get paralyzed on accident.
I feel like it's less than you.
It has to be less
because no one really.
Because then no one would go. Yeah. But at the same time,
but people like they can crack your skull. I guess they can do all kinds of shit. Line you all right.
This is United States of America. They're behind everything. Though, so.
This isn't Wuhan, China, though.
It's about the profits.
Who are the profits?
Like profit margins, like.
Oh, okay. They meant like the profits, no, like so fucking.
Jesus, guys.
Yeah.
Fair. No, that's a.
So what's going on with work? You haven't got like an email about anything?
We've gotten multiple emails. I'm not face to face, but there's districts that are face to face, which is like customers come in, dealing with certain things, and so they're going through everything, and then I guess. If you get the virus, or if you have to take care of somebody that gets the virus, or have to take care of your children, I guess they they're setting up a fund where you're able to take a certain amount of time off, but still get, I think, 80% of your check. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me
buddy
on
just
that,
said he's getting paid for his 3 weeks off of school. He's a teacher.
But accumulated 400 hours with my sick and my vacation, so I don't want them to take from that. I don't think I'll have to take any time off, but because Melissa's dad doesn't work, so he usually takes care of the kids. Which, see, I feel like I'm super blessed, or that we're super blessed, because a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
but also like you're putting your kids and everyone else at risk by going into work. So can you work from home, or are you guys on an internal server where like all your information's only at the office?
We might. Well, where I'm located, you have security clearance and shit like that. So unless someone's infected already or has the virus, then maybe that would be able to work from home. But as of now, no one.
No, but I'm saying, if you had to work from home, do you think you can?
I don't think so. I think it would take too much. They'd have to set up a computer. I just don't think they have that procedure down yet. You know what I mean? I don't think they knew something like this would have happened, obviously. So I don't think
you can. I mean, being a tech guy, I know you can.
Yeah, you probably could, but there's so much pie in it that I don't know,
pie?
Like personal information that you can't let other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that goes with you signing an NDA and fucking you taking it home. And
true. I don't know.
You're a grown ass man, dude. You're supposed to be trusted.
I could work
with this
from
shit.
home, but I don't know if
I can technically work from home right now, like 100%. But I haven't asked because everybody else is tied to a server.
Right.
So then I'd be like the one asshole that goes and works from home. Yeah.
I love my kids, but it's easier to go to work than to stay home and watch my kids. It's a lot more work.
And I was actually telling this girl today at work, I was like, you know what? With everyone buying toilet paper and all these supplies and everything, I was like, I'd rather come to work so I can waste your guys' shit.
At work, like low key, I'm able to, because my shit's so like, sorry, I burped. Automated already. I feel like I'm just a robot. Like I don't even have to pay it. Sometimes I zone out and I'm able to still do my work, and then I'll just come back into it and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I don't even know what happened right now. So I'm able to watch series, Netflix series, Hulu series, Amazon Prime series. I can't do that at home. My kids are gonna want to play something. They're gonna want to take time. They want my attention. I have to feed them and shit, make their food. At work, it's just so much easier to me. So it's just like it's so robotic. Like I don't have a soul there, but at the same time, it's just like easy money, low key.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. You see, what I be doing? I just be. I mean, I
yeah, but you're like. Podcast. I feel like it's more lively where you're at. Mine's more robotic. I feel like if I was to leave, this shit's gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like it's. Anybody, they could just plug someone in.
Yeah,
you know, if you feel me, like my shit's never ending. Like, I'll never see an end of a case or anything like that. It's just I see multiple cases. I'll never see that case again, probably.
Oh no, I was just saying that like I just get away with whatever I want. So it's like I'm chilling.
I remember when I first started. I started in the supply room, and after like a year, I was able to get everything down real quick, and I would just disappear and go get my hair cut.
Yeah.
And come back and no one even fucking noticed where I was at. Like,
dude, I used to do that so many other times.
I would go hide and just fucking.
I remember when I was a dental technician, fucking like, because I would work crazy hours because I'd go to school in the morning and then work like I think it was like the 4 to 1 a.m. shift. But I remember like there was no management or anything around. And I would just fucking take off and go get a haircut, take off and fucking go to the store or go shop, do shit that I had to do, and then come back and no one will really notice because no one's really watching over me of what I'm doing, and I'm just the only one in my department at the time. So that was funny. Would get drunk.
I feel like they should give you that time because when are you supposed to do it? I feel like people or companies want you to work to survive. Like
I think they want you to be happy.
No,
I mean, no. Wait.
They don't want you to be happy. They want you to make them happy.
Hold on. I think if they were smart, they would want you to be happy because then they'll get more work out of you.
That's what Google does, right?
That's exactly what I was going to get to next. Companies like Google and all these tech companies, Apple and all that, they've moved towards that direction where they have cafeterias there. They have healthy options. They have gyms. They have fucking napping stations.
They don't want your ass to leave.
Yeah, well, it actually that's where it gets crazy because the workload gets so much where it becomes into like a campus where they actually kind of live there, but they have all the necessities. But that's on a crazy level. But I think jobs are starting to realize where, hey, let the people dress how they want.
It's morale, baby.
Every company that I've dealt with or interviewed with, and these are big companies, like some of the biggest companies, is when I deal with everyone there, all the fucking high level people or just the creatives and people in the industry, they're dressed how they want and they feel comfortable because companies understand, hey, you be yourself and do whatever. I want you to come here and not look like a fucking penguin and feel like you're just a number.
I feel like that's the private companies, but I feel where I'm located, like it's still the procedures.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you work for a city, so that's it. Like,
whoa. I don't work for a city.
Well, you know what I mean. So,
but it's all old white people making decisions based on the 1950s.
Yeah, it's just
fucking 2020.
It's just really old school fucking employee
stuck
handbooks.
In their ways.
You can't wear this. You can't do this. We're non-slip or whatever it is. Like, it's just so old school, and like I don't follow that shit. Well, luckily I haven't had to, but I have worked at jobs where that people are following it to a T, and I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, no one's really gonna trip.
And certain people tell me, take your earrings out. Don't show your tattoos. I'm like, if you're gonna fire me over that, then go ahead, because it's ridiculous. You need to update your.
This is 2020.
Yeah, like update that shit. Come on now, like I don't even know.
This isn't the 1950s.
I remember when I first got my earrings, my dad called me gay and all this bullshit, but I was in 8th grade. It might have been gay because I had big ass star earrings. It doesn't matter, but
your dad was right.
At that time, he might have been right. But
he went straight to the big ass star earrings.
I did. Fucking rap.
Fucking rap.
Fucking rap. Made me think I was a blood and all that shit. Nah, but like tattoos, I don't even think for some reason people didn't get over it. I think we're too far now that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it shouldn't matter.
People should just look at other people like individuals.
You can look at my work and look how I respect everybody. I give everybody the same respect.
Yeah, it's just how you carry yourself, and if you're getting the job done, you're there for a reason. You've obviously interviewed me because you liked what was on my fucking resume. Don't judge me off of my appearance. That's all that is. Let me just show up.
Preach, amen, brother. Keep it 100, like for real. Like that's why I don't understand how people look at supervisors or people supposedly smarter than you, or just because they have a higher position get paid more. I treat everybody with this. I'll make the same jokes, blah, blah, blah. I treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
And some people look at me like, or tell me, "What are you doing about that?" And I'm like,
"Oh man, it's usually older ladies."
Yeah, or
I'm going through that.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't.
Everyone has their
hair.
Yeah.
you. What are you gonna do? Like? You're a dude. You bleed. Like I'm telling my son now, he's 8. Don't be scared of these kids. Like, don't be scared of anybody. We all bleed. We all do the same. If you're gonna, because he plays flag and he plays baseball. If you're gonna be the kid that doesn't put their 100%, but the other kid is putting his 100%, you're gonna be the one that's ended up getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be scared of being hurt. Go 100. Go full speed. Because if that kid's not doing full speed, then he'll end up getting hurt. You know what I mean? So just go all out and don't worry about getting hurt. That's when you end up getting hurt.
Build that confidence, because if you have that fear, then you're most likely going to make a mistake.
And that's like one of my biggest things now. I'm 31 and I just realized a lot of shit's holding me back because I'm scared to fail.
Yeah.
I did the clothing. I like paint shoes now, but I'm scared to put anything out because I don't want to be like, oh, look at he's doing this, and then all of a sudden I'm not doing because I failed or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, I don't want.
It's like you, and I understand that too because I've been through that too, where I've like gone through things or been in certain lanes where it's like, oh, I'm super excited about it and I want to put it out there and I'll talk about it, and then things just don't work out, and that's not your fault. And there will be those people that are like, oh, there he goes again, or they want you to fail, but then again, those people don't understand, and later on in life they might try something and then they'll be like, oh, I get it. So it's like you have to just like I mean, it sounds like such a cheesy thing, but then entrepreneurship, like being an entrepreneur, it's like you have to take these risks, and if you look at anyone else's story, they've failed multiple times before they actually got that one big, like, successful business or venture, whatever it is. So it's like, yeah, but it's really hard to kind of like break that mold for sure. I catch myself with that all the time.
It's a fear. But that's why I started realizing that when I'm telling my 8-year-old to do certain things, and then I catch myself thinking like, oh, I didn't do that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm being a hypocrite, but at the same time,
but no,
I've tried things, but I just haven't been able to be successful. I don't think it's necessarily being a hypocrite if you're trying to like, go off of experience and hoping that it's something you would have done and works. I think it's just more so you're trying to teach him to do things that you wish you would have done. Like all of our parents fucking try to do. I just want something creative, because where I'm at is just robotic. It's just soul sucking. It has nothing to do with anything.
Get better at podcasting, fool.
I am. I feel like we're doing good tonight. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, we're doing good, but
we're gonna get there.
A few weeks where you're just.
Yeah, but I think that's because I found I know I can't smoke because that gets me too lazy, and then I feel like I need to work out before, because it gets me kind of like energetic, and then I have to drink not as much. So I'm starting to feel like I'm finding my happy
perfect
medium.
balance.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't have my weed pen. I was supposed to get back on the wagon.
Oh shit! Yeah. Where is it? Here?
No, it's in my other backpack in the car. I'm not gonna get.
Well, I seen something where I sent Scott,
and it's a good ass one. I think you'll like it.
I sent Scott. I guess they came out with TC or what's it called? THC. Scissor up.
So they've had that, and that shit's dangerous. You don't want to do that.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
I asked Scott to give me some.
That shit floors. Oh fuck! No, that shit floors you, dude. It's like edibles. You ever had edibles?
I've had an edible when I went to this dance competition at the Pomona Fairplex or whatever it is. That place.
Yeah,
Fairplex. I think. So I was watching the World of Dance, WOD. I went one year. And I've took just a little ass piece of a cookie.
Yeah, dude.
So I went in there, and I was watching them dance, their competition and shit. Bruh, my body was so tense. I kept shaking my leg. I didn't even realize it. And I felt like when I first did E or ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that. I'm lying. But my jaw was super tight at the end of the day, because I guess I was I was clenching my teeth together.
Yeah, that happens.
And I was there, but I feel like my body was just so tense for some reason. Well, dude, my body hurt on the way home. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, that could have been because like you said, you're tensing up. It's like when you're cold and you contract all your muscles. You're like, you don't notice it, and you're sore the next day. But yeah, going back to edibles, dude. I mean, if you only had that one experience, fuck. Edibles are insane. You watch when you try that fucking syrup. Like, I fucked with edibles a few different times, and every single time I've been like, why the fuck did I do this? There's really fun parts, and then there's really like, fuck, why did I do this? This is scary. Not necessarily scary, but like you start to get maybe a little paranoid or just like tired of being high. Yeah, you're just like you overthink shit, you overanalyze everything. Like, it's just those parts suck, but there's also the fun parts. But yeah, no, I picked up a pen, a row pen. It's a dope flavor. It's a sativa.
Where'd you go? Where were you?
Just in San Diego.
Oh, that seemed all far away.
And then,
so you went into a shop by yourself?
Fuck, dude.
I'm kind of scared to go into those places.
Honestly, I don't know why the fuck you're telling Scott to get pins where he's just going into a shop and getting one for you. He's probably taxing you or something. Nah, I doubt he's taxing you.
I don't think he'll tax me.
But I'm saying, like, you just go into a shop. And
Well,
they're
where I don't even know where they're located.
The one that I go to is not far from my house, and that one's like nice as fuck. It's like legit. They got.
But I wouldn't know what
girls.
to get. I wouldn't know what to do.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
They have fucking professionals to tell you what you need and what's good and what doesn't work. It's not like what you think. It's not a fucking trap house. It's like some dope, legit spots. But yeah, long story short, like it was pretty fun to be high, but I realized like I used to be really good at just being sharp, like high when I drink, where I could still be like, articulate and like
at a certain point.
At a certain point, yeah, because I could get drunk and be dumb. But even then, it's just that I'm just letting
like
loose.
2 beers, I'm good. Like 2 beers, I still feel, or 3 beers, I still feel.
But hold on.
Like I'm faded a little bit, but I'm still able to have a conversation.
But with weed, I feel like I concentrate too much on like one thing, point A to point B. Everything in the middle, like I'm just not even paying attention, so I just coast on autopilot. It's fucking funny.
No, when on weed, in my head, I'm having the greatest conversation in the world.
Oh, see,
what's coming out of my mouth isn't fucking anything that's in my head.
I haven't done the weed thing yet on the podcast. That's what I was gonna do it today. Oh, I probably have.
And it's just it's. In my mind, I'm like, damn,
I was gonna do it today. I'll let you try when we bounce, but this shit trips me out right here. So you see where the tripod is? Next to the tripod, like under it, there's like a line, right? Think of that as a mouth, and then above it, the top of the tripod, there's 2 eyes. So it looks like a fucking character.
No, it looks like a dragon, like some Mulan shit.
They postponed Mulan because of the coronavirus.
Did they?
Yeah, because that was a big release. The one with Scarlett Johansson, that movie. And
Speaking of movies, I watched a good one with, it wasn't the greatest, on Netflix with Mark Wahlberg. Spencer?
Oh, with
Mark Wahlberg.
No, the rapper too, right? Is that the movie with the rapper? With Post Malone?
Oh yeah, Post Malone.
Yeah, I started watching it, but I didn't finish it. It was late. My brother had it on. Post Malone's stupid ass part in the beginning of the jail.
Yeah, but when he stabs him how far did you get?
Well, no, I just saw the fight in the beginning. That's basically it.
And he stabs him, but then he has like that little smirk on his like, I got you.
Yeah, that's what I was like, that's legit. I got to the point where, basically gets out of jail, and then he doesn't want to see his girlfriend. She shows up.
Oh, she's nuts. Yeah, it's a good movie. It had like
it's hard for me to take Mark Wahlberg serious.
Yeah, because it still had a hint of comedy in it.
Yeah, it's too cheesy for me. Like if he takes it serious, then I'm down. But when there's too much like where they make it purposely,
you're not gonna like it. Because
it's not that I won't like it. I just won't.
No, you'll watch it. Yeah, I watched it because I didn't know, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, this shit's kind of like. There's a hint of like he's kind of stuck in those roles, like those dad movies he did. Like a lot of his movies are comedy.
Yeah,
but he tried to do like the action thing with the Kevin Hart and the Rock shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of comedy in it. Well, I think it's comedy. I don't know if it.
Yeah, I would consider it like comical fucking theater, I guess.
Action shit. I don't know what the fuck you would call it. Kevin Hart ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, fucking. I'm not even looking forward to a movie right now that I can think of. I still want to see some that are already out, like 1918, right? Is that what it was called? 1917?
1917 sounds more. But there's a new movie coming in, or that's out as of now. It's a kid movie. I think it's called Onward. That shit looks fucking. These kid movies, they make them for the parents taking them, because these like Sonic was funny as fuck. Like a lot of these movies, kids movies are funny as fuck. Yeah.
Jim Carrey looked like dope as that character.
Oh yeah,
that shit looked cool.
Where was another? There's a movie where they were talking about Django, and I guess Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. And I've seen Django multiple times. I don't remember him in it, but I guess he was so good as that character, as the slave master, that I didn't even notice it was him. Keep it 100 with you, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Nah, dude, he was a fucking dick. And then what's his name was in it? What's the other dude that's like a famous actor?
I don't see. That's what
Oh no, I'm mixing the movies. So yeah, he was in Django, but 12 Years Slave. What's his name was in it? Brad Pitt.
I didn't watch 12 Years Slave.
What?
That's when I was going through my phase where I
What?
was like, I'm done with these fucking slave movies. Like, there's too many.
Nah,
of this
dude.
shit's
If you're
going
gonna
on.
watch a slave movie, that's the slave movie to watch. 12 Years Slave. It's really fucking good. Like really fucking good. It's a true story and it's really fucked up. But no, that's a good one. That one's one of those emotional roller coaster ones.
Well, I know tonight when I get back home and get something to eat, I'll probably pop in. Netflix has a lot of new good shit, like Goodfellas, and I haven't seen Goodfellas in a long time.
I know. I want to revisit Goodfellas,
yeah.
and I've seen those movies a ton.
I have too.
'Cause, you know, I like all that shit, Martin Scorsese. But have you seen Mean Streets? Old Martin Scorsese movie. I think it's on Netflix too. Fucking great, dude. It's a young Robert De Niro.
What's the plot?
It's just Main Streets. It's like these younger fucking dudes that are kind of involved in like racketeering, like mafia type stuff. But they're all buddies, and one of them owns a bar, and then Robert De Niro is one of those guys, those hustlers. That's like, let me borrow some money, I'll pay you back tomorrow. Oh, bro, yeah, I'll get you the next day. Oh, here, I'll give you a little bit now, and then I'll get you the rest later. He keeps digging himself deeper and deeper in that hole, and then one of the guys that has an uncle that's like the real mobster keeps fucking vouching for him and saying, oh, just give him a break, and then it gets to the point where it's like it gets out of control. But I don't want to ruin it, but you will like that movie.
I feel like I've seen it, but then also another movie that I get all those movies confused.
Raging Bull? Did you watch Raging
kind
Bull?
of like all similar. Like one that pops into my head is where like they're in a candy store and they get in a fight, and I think they're called the Spades or something like that. They're literally two gangs on two different sides of the street, and then one of the brothers likes one of the dude's sisters that moves in. I don't know, and but a lot of those movies get so.
The Outsiders?
I get them. No, it's not. I know it's not The Outsiders for sure, but they all get intertwined in my mind somehow. Like,
no, I mean, watch that. Watch Mean Streets. You ever seen Raging Bull, boxing movie?
yeah,
Great movie too. I mean, Martin Scorsese, fucking man.
I think the best boxing movie I've ever seen was Cinderella Man, because it was during the Depression and he had a fight just to feed his family. Like that movie.
And that's
was just
with who?
as fuck.
Tom Hardy?
Nah.
I think he was in a boxing movie too, though.
Oh, what's his name?
I gotta watch it because I've heard good things about that movie.
Man.
I feel like I might have seen it, but I just can't remember it.
Fuck, he's a good ass actor.
Another good movie was Ali
Oh yeah.
with Will Smith. That was good. I had some more newer, but that was fucking good. I thought he did a great job.
It's with
Oh, you said you saw it. Oh, Once Upon a Time in America.
Russell
Another
Crowe.
fucking great movie. Oh, okay, no, I haven't
he's the
seen it.
boxer. He's the main guy.
He's dope though.
Yeah.
I like Russell Crowe.
Once upon a what?
Once Upon a Time in America. That's a
In
4-hour
America.
movie. It has an intermission.
Oh shit! No, I didn't watch that shit.
Bro, because I'm telling you, I've always loved these type of movies since I was younger, and
It's a mob movie.
yeah, and it goes from them being little kids in the streets to teenagers, to maybe in the 30s to old. Like it's fucking that long, and it's dope. Robert De Niro's in it.
Robert De Niro's in all of them.
No, but these are like his gems when he was younger, like before like he was fucking starting to make these weird ass movies. But
Before he started kicking people with a fucking some
stiletto.
weird ass shit.
Well, yeah. Long story short, so one time I was hanging out with like my buddies, and like I'm telling you, like I watch these movies, and if they're really good, I enjoy film, so I get fucking excited. And I want everyone to see it, but I know they won't see it. If I tell you to watch a movie today, you're probably not going to see it, and maybe like later on down the road, if you see, it, you're like, oh, I'm not doing shit today. But we used to get high at Andy's house. This was like in high school. We would get stoned, and then one time he's like, oh, you guys want to watch a movie? Want to put something on? And then normally I'm not that type of guy because I have like this fucking ADD complex where I can't sit still. I have to get up and do something if I'm high, especially, or if I'm in a room just doing nothing for a long time. I just have to get up. So fucking, I was like, yeah, let's watch Once Upon a Time in America. It's dope. You guys gonna like it. 4 fucking hours of these fuckers on the couch, high as fuck, but it was that good. It got them stuck. Like, and there was an intermission where you get up and take a piss and everything. And it was dope, dude. I fucking convinced him to watch a 4-hour movie.
Because I remember back in those days, around that time, if I was to smoke, if I smoked with a group of people like the homies,
Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm going home. And
See,
like I'll just be out. I'll just leave and no one even know. I won't even tell nobody. I'll just leave.
Yeah, I would do that in high school.
Just go home, eat, and watch movie by
I
myself.
remember walking home from fucking places and just tripping out on the way home. The whole, like, you have so many thoughts in your head on the way home, and that goes to my fucking. I did write that as a note, cause I was high. Like I was telling you, I was fucking high, and I was tripping out because I haven't been high in a while like that. And I was like I just went on a fucking journey on my own in my head.
Oh,
just
in your
being
head?
stoned,
Okay. Yeah.
and just walking. I want to go meet up with some friends, and I'm just like stoned, and I'm just like, all these ideas are bouncing, and little epiphanies or whatever. And I'm just like, damn, this is fucking dope. Like, imagine if you can just channel this, like whenever you want.
You can.
How? Just smoke.
Like that's how I do it at the gym. I take 2 puffs, and I'm zoned.
I know, but I'm saying, imagine if you can just channel it like sober. Like if you're just at work and you're just like, hey, I'm taking a break on my lunch, and then you can just turn that fucking part of your brain on, where you're just like, hell yeah, I want to fucking reflect. It's like meditation, I guess, where you can turn that part of your brain on, and you're just like, cool, and then you just get back in it.
But I like how weed just takes you somewhere. It just makes you like I think I've told this story before, but it's just a story that sticks to my head. I smoked, and I laid down on the bed, and I just felt like I shrunk.
I got a story about that.
And I was like, I just felt like I shrunk in her arms, and I was like, what the fuck? But it was craziness.
I fucking me and Tony that's been here, fucking trucking Tony. We used to get high all the time. We used to hang out a lot in high school, and I used to have this fucking Honda Civic that I sold to Paul. It was like a beige. Paul? Yeah. What G Paul?
Oh, Paul. Who's Paul?
Oh, the one that was here.
Paul?
Yeah. So yeah, I was just fucking chilling with him. We got super fucking stoned, and I remember like we're just in this little ass Honda, and I'm driving, and then fucking and I look over. We're at a red light, and I didn't have window tint because that wasn't cool. You know, if you have the Honda with no window tint, slam the whole thing. It was all JDM'd out or whatever. Fucking and I remember looking over, and I was like, dude, I feel like we're fucking little ass kids trying to be adults right now in this fucking car. We're in high school, you know. In high school, we're all little, small, and then he's just like looking at each other. He's like Mario Kart. He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he fucking starts to bust it up because he feels the same way. I'm like, this with the steering wheel. He's looking at me. We're dressed a certain way. We have this appearance we fucking thought in our own head, you know, like oh yeah, we're these adults, or we probably think we're tough or whatever it is. But we're just fucking kids that just got a little more stretched out. Like literally, like fucking 8 years ago, we were fucking a lot younger, or whatever it is. 10 years ago, we were fucking little kids, fucking not even thinking the same way we did. But it's just so funny how like your whole perspective changes, and then you think you're this person. But
yeah, that's the best though, smoking with your friends and just laughing out of nowhere. Just you don't even know why you're laughing. It's just something that's I don't even know. Sometimes. I don't know. I love smoking. Yeah, no, it's cool. I have. There's a carefreeness with it, like
the ganja man.
Like you understand what's going on, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, the situation you're going through at that time, you'll either adapt, you'll just get through. It's at that time,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it puts
you think you're not gonna get through. And
I wish I could be high all the time. It puts you in this perspective where it might matter, but what does it really matter in the bigger picture?
Well, let me ask you this: do you think everybody has the same effect with weed?
No.
You see, so like you explaining that, so it might be a little different. So I know with me. Like there's been times where I love smoking. I'll smoke all the time. I've never been like a hardcore stoner, but like I'll take a few puffs and that'll start my day. Like it was fun because I just like to be a little high. Like I guess microdosing, I guess, but I like to be a little high enough for like a head change and I'll feel good and happy and shit. I don't like to be stuck and be stoned and feeling like a lot. And like I hate feeling slow.
I've been in those situations.
Yeah.
I smoked way too much when I knew I should have stopped, but at that point I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. And then you just end up eating way too much, and then you just fucking feel disgusting.
You just feel like a fucking like a snail. Like you're just slow everything. So, but yeah. And another thing is like I hate when I get to that point where I'm like, oh man, I've just been fucking getting high, and I just feel like I ain't doing shit. Or it's like I don't like to smoke weed. And then Eddie Bravo actually made this point too, which I thought was interesting on the smoke box. when you feel like you're not doing well, like in life, or you're not happy with where you're going or what's going on in your life, you smoke. I feel like two things. It might amplify that feeling where you're just like, oh, fucking paranoid and I shouldn't be high now. Now I'm just stressing myself out even more because you're like concentrated on that. Or the other thing will be like you realize that's what's been stressing you out, and now you figure out what are the things you have to do to go and make that change. So there's benefits. It's all a mind game sometimes, and that's just my experience.
That's yeah. Stress is weird to me because I don't ever feel like I'm stressed.
Yeah, because you live in a fucking mansion, dude.
No, it's not even that. It's just that I don't know if I have like a weird thing where it just doesn't matter that much to me. Like things don't matter that much to me.
Yeah, I know. We noticed
like,
that. Like whenever me and my brother will fucking tell you, like, dude, you gotta fucking do this, or like I don't know, pay attention to this, or blah blah blah. You're just like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, but it's like I think you've been kind of trained to like not put enough thought into something, and you just brush things off, and I can't do that. Like I can't.
I don't know. Maybe that might be from back in the day. Like from childhood type shit where you're just going through so much stuff where it's like at a certain point you're like, fuck, I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's probably like your, I don't know if it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
that
might be. Yeah,
you just let shit slide over, but it's like you're smarter than that. Put some thought into it. Like,
well, because even certain things Melissa will bring up, and I'm like, it doesn't. It's not that I don't want to talk about it or anything like that. Like,
it seems like
doesn't mean I don't care.
Like
it's just like for some reason it just boom. It like I like matrix it or some shit. Like it's just I dodge it.
So let's fucking segue for a minute because we're about time. I want to cover this because I know Junior listens to this podcast and he's been saying that you should make a podcast just talking about kids and being a father.
A great father, yes.
Not a great father, just a father. Just stuck in that situation. Like you guys both were fucking both stuck in that situation, unplanned.
I'm glad.
But yeah. So what's your take? I mean, you probably haven't thought this far because it's pretty new. What's your take on this whole coronavirus and your kids and how they're taking it? How you explain it to them if it gets worse? What do they know about it so far? And what are the precautions you're taking to like be an example to them while this is going on?
Well, one of my
great fucking questions.
It is a great. It's multi-layered, so yeah. I'm gonna try to hit all of the layers, like a fucking 3D chili shits. But one of my children's is 4, so he's just going with the flow right now. But like I said, my 8-year-old, he obviously goes to school. He obviously has friends. Mm-hmm. He obviously talks. They talk crazy shit. He comes home with craziness. Mm-hmm. And also, he goes on YouTube, which probably isn't the best thing. And yeah, maybe I'm not the greatest father in the world, but
he's Fortnite too.
You guys, he's on Fortnite. My brother, he's in high school, told me to tell my son to stop fucking inviting him to the party games because he sucks. That was kind of hard to tell him. Your uncle doesn't want to play with you because you suck.
Tony, Truckin' Tony, his younger brother kept doing that too, and it wasn't because he sucked, because he actually didn't. It was just because I felt like I couldn't talk about the shit I want to talk to with my homies. Yeah. And it's a little kid, and I didn't want to like influence him.
Well, games are getting crazy right now. I'll get back to your question, but. Yeah. My son, he plays Fortnite with his cousin, but he just calls because he has an iPhone, which is his iPod, which I don't understand why they stopped making iPods, but now they're fucking iPhones where you can FaceTime and all that bullshit. So he FaceTimes his cousin and they just play Fortnite like that instead of having the headphones on. But anyways, back to your question regarding teaching my children. It's hard. He comes home. Like I said, anything China, as soon as anything, if he hears the word China, coronavirus pops in his head, which is fucking nuts, which is, I can understand that, you know what I mean? Because they don't know the whole thing. Because I don't even understand it. They just know where it's coming from. Yeah, I don't even understand the fucking nuances of it. He hasn't really asked me any questions regarding the coronavirus. So I haven't even spoke to him about it. Well, he knows he's not going to school next week. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, but it's kind of he was off next week anyways on Friday because it's spring break.
And that's what I was saying, is that I think he doesn't understand the severity of it.
And plus, it's not something that he already understands that. I don't know how he does because I haven't spoken to him about it, but it doesn't affect, as of now, children.
Oh, that's probably...
So that's why it's
teachers,
probably,
teachers telling him so they don't worry.
It might be his teacher or it might be... Because you don't know what... That's what's crazy about elementary is that you don't know what parents are telling their kids.
Yeah.
So obviously once they get to school, they're trading information. You know what I mean? So as of now, we haven't really spoken about the coronavirus. If anything, we'll just be like, Alexa, what's going on with coronavirus? And then she'll go ahead and tell us the facts. but
let me add on to that. It's the same question, but I think I'm just going to add a scenario to it. So let's say it gets bad. They say we're quarantined for 30 days. You know, let's try to stop this thing. So you're at home. Do you feel like you're just going to go on with the regular self, fucking put your feet on the couch and fuck around and chill? Or do you think like that's your moment to step up and like, you know, fucking show them like, hey, like we're not gonna eat as much today, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. You guys need to understand that. Or your son, your 8-year-old, right? That, you know, sometimes things are hard, things aren't always gonna be easy, so we're gonna make adjustments. Like, is this your time to make an example, or are you just gonna play it off?
No, I'm not. I've been since he was littler than he is. I've spoke to him like he's a regular ass person.
No,
I don't do the baby shit. Like, that's why I feel like he's a smart ass. And Melissa's pissed because he's quick as fuck. Yeah. Like, if we say something, he questions. He's everything. Not. Yeah, he's hella. That's one. Yeah, he fucking questions everything, but at the same time, he's quick. And Melissa said, "Oh, you're a smartass," but I don't think he understands that I don't think he's trying to be a smartass. I think it's just when he hears something, he'll say something right away. Yeah, he doesn't even have. I don't think he thinks it through. I think that's what pops into his head. I don't think he's trying to be a smartass. I think he's just a smart kid that's what comes out. And so it seems like he's being a smartass.
He's formulating those questions in his head. He wants answers.
And then so I'm gonna if it becomes like a martial law shit where we're stuck in the house, like, and we have to start fortifying the house, like, I'm gonna be like, oh, yo, this is what's going on, like. And I think... Do
you think you'll give him a hammer? Like, hey, nail this shit?
At the same time, yeah, but I think that's also what's fucked him up. Because he won't sleep without me, like, laying with him or holding him. Because I think it's this one thing, because I was watching something, I was like, yo, you don't go with stranger or anything. And he brings it up all the time. I think I fucked up at this point. I honestly, I'll say that.
What, the Stranger Thing?
We were watching, not Stranger Thing. It was a documentary where
not Stranger Things, but I'm saying like Stranger Danger.
Oh yeah, it was a little girl that got kidnapped. She was in the UK or something. She got taken straight out of her room, and I was like, you don't talk to strangers, like, this shit can happen. And I think I kind of, he was younger. I think he was like 6. And that kind of, I feel like that kind of like fucked him up. Like, that's why he needs me to sleep with him all the time.
But then again, like, they don't have their own room. So it's like.
They do have their own room.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And I have to, the baby, or Liam sleeps with Melissa in her bed. And then or vice versa. But Josiah won't be able to sleep alone. He has to be with somebody.
Damn, you're going to have to try to get him out of that.
I know we try, but I understand I understand the situation. Like, he's so analytical. He thinks so much. Even when he's playing baseball, he'll be out there not talking to himself, but you see him running the situations through his head.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He thinks a whole bunch before he'll do it. And I tell him every time when we're at practice or in the games, I'm like, you know what to do, just do it. Yeah, because I can just see him thinking, and that's what throws him off all the time. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it'll probably be good in the long run that he's like that, but sometimes it gets frustrating because I'm like, dude, you know what to do. We do this, but he just thinks it through too much. He thinks about it too much.
But I mean, going back to the coronavirus thing, like, have you ever seen Walking Dead?
I've tried to get into it.
Well, there's this
But the
kid.
production was so old. By the time I tried to get back into it, I was like, oh, I can't watch this shit.
Well, there's this kid. It was the main guy's son. His name was Carl, and like that's kind of like what they went through, where Carl had to become a man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carl, fucking go out there and help whoever fucking get vegetables, and then it ended up being, hey, Carl, here's a gun. Hey, Carl, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I think it would be like a good lesson. Let's say if you are fortifying the house, hey, I don't know if you want to see your son's name. Here's the hammer and the nail. Just hit this in. He's probably gonna do it shit. He's probably not gonna do it good, but you know he's practicing something. Yeah, he knows what it takes. So,
and I think people that might be having kids in the future,
there's gonna be a lot of kids after this coronavirus.
But what I'm saying is,
fucking,
I don't know. I didn't understand. Do you want to be more a friend or more of a parent? Do you want to keep it?
That shit's tough.
It's tough at the same time. It's see. Do you want to speak to them as you would speak to your homies? And that's what I do. And I think sometimes it's kind of like,
see, that's
it kind of fucks them up a little bit. But at the same time, I'm like, you need to know what's going. Like, this shit's real. Like,
that's also hard. I mean, like it's crazy because growing up, I wish I had that. Like with my pops, I have nothing against my dad, but he was more of like the lesson guy. Every single time we did actually talk, it was to teach me a lesson. Give me this long lecture on the way to anywhere.
And you never really knew what's going on.
I never really knew what's going on, or really didn't know much about him besides the little things he'll say here and there. But we didn't talk like homies. Like I mean, there was also the culture barrier, language barrier. Like I understood Spanish, but it wasn't the same, you know.
I kind of like how you brought that up. Is that I didn't have that with my dad. My dad, like, we weren't homies, so that's probably why I switched it to where me and Josiah, and we're more like, oh, he can tell me things. Like, he'll tell me more than he'll tell Melissa, because I'm more of like,
and that's what I'm saying.
I'm more like low key, and I
saw that with other people, and I thought that was dope. And I think when I have a kid, I'm gonna strive to that, and that's no blame to like my dad or anything like that. Like I guess it's
because they got it from where their dad, like,
yeah,
it evolved,
and the whole different. Like I mean, he left like fucking 13 years old, had to fend for himself, the whole thing. Like I could never compare that and put anything on him. And but going back to that, it's like it was just all lessons and teaching you how to do this and learning that, you know, the world isn't all fucking perfect and blah 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 blah. You have to do this, you have to fend for yourself. Kind of that machismo thing. But I think those things are really good because you kind of grow up hard. But I think finding that balance where it's like you're still a homie and you can talk to me about anything. I think that's dope. Is having a little bit of both.
Well, that's where I believe that so much, because every morning I get them dressed for school. We like talk in the morning, and I'm like, I make sure before I leave, I'm like, have a good day and I love you.
Yeah.
And that wasn't something that was said to me, and I know that I took that from me wanting to know that or hear that.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting that towards where, like, and I tell I'm about to like fucking get all emotional right now, but like even my 4-year-old, I'm like, guess what? And he already knows. And be like, what? And it's like, oh, I love you. And then he'll say, oh, guess what? I'm like, what? Oh, I love you. Like, I feel like it's something that you have to say. Like, I don't know. I say it no matter what.
So like it gets like engraved or whatever.
Yeah, but like they know I'm there and they could tell me anything. And what I'm trying to go through now is like, oh, now it's real. Now it's serious. Like, so take me serious now. Because Melissa's the more of the, I guess you would say the hard ass, or they say it's called something.
I don't know, but I would say like the authority.
It's a word though, and people probably know, but yeah, she's the hammer basically. So when she says something, they know. Oh, I'm not fucking around. Yeah. And it's kind of my fault, because when they were younger, I'd be like standing behind her, I'd be pointing at them, like laughing, like like you got in trouble.
Remember you would tell me that shit.
So like now they don't take me serious.
See, and that's the thing, is like that's the thing that I was afraid of, because I always took my dad serious, like till this day. And
but there's a switch where they know where I'm like, oh shit, like my voice, like there's a certain point where you know,
and I think
they know that I'm not fucking around.
They're going back to that balance is my biggest fear is becoming too much of a homie where they won't respect me, or they'll just like you know, when Like you get too close to them, they're like, oh yeah, you don't know, blah blah blah. Like you have to find that whole thing where it's like, hey, I'm still an adult, I'm still your dad, I'm still the fucking one calling the shots, like blah 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 blah.
And that's the craziest thing is, I always tell Josiah when it comes like, because when we're practicing anything or something like that, I'm like, just listen to me, bro. Like I'm telling you, because I wish I had somebody to tell me this.
Yeah.
Like put in the work now.
Yeah,
everything's muscle memory. Like let's do this now. And I keep telling him, I tell him every time, like, I wish I either had an older brother or someone to tell me and teach me these things. I tell him, you're lucky that I'm out here. I take my time and we're going to do all this, because a lot of these kids don't have this.
He doesn't understand that.
I know. I understand that he doesn't understand, but at the same time, it's like
so
me.
frustrating.
I get so frustrated.
Because I know.
I'm giving you this. This is what you need.
Going back to my examples, is I know my dad would tell me those things too. It's like, you have no idea. He's like, take care of yourself now. Save right now. Do this now. Like, he's like, if I would have known that before, if I just don't want you going down the same road I have. All these fucking things that you know are real, and he wouldn't have been saying them if he didn't have to. But you have that going back to that ignorance in a way where you're just like, I'm gonna ignore it because I don't want to deal with it right now, or blah blah blah, or going to your son's example where he's just like, yeah, I get it, Dad, but it almost sounds like it's just something you're saying for him to do something versus him understanding the root of it, or where it's coming from, and how important it is.
But what's cool about nowadays, he has an iPod, which is not an iPod if you have Wi-Fi. So I'll send him videos, motivational videos, or I'll send him videos.
Oh, shit.
I'll send him videos of like little kids playing baseball, and like so he'll watch it. I swear to God, I wish I had that when I was younger. I wish I had something.
We would all be.
You know what athletes. I mean? Like I wish I had someone giving me something where this is go do this, put in the time, put in the work, because you can strive to be that. You can be there. I feel like when we were younger, we didn't have. I don't know. Maybe it's different for you, but I just didn't have anything to look up to. Like I was living in that day.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking to the future.
I was looking up to that day. Like I used to be really good at baseball, but I was like, I learned how to play. I mean, I played baseball in the streets and just like learning with friends. But I got on a team because a classmate of mine lived on the block from me, was practicing with his dad pitching, just out in the middle of the street. And I would see them and I would walk by them, and I always think, oh, his name was Tim. Oh, Tim's good. His dad's fucking teaching him to be the best. And then one day, Tim's dad was just like, hey, you want to try? And I was just like, all right, yeah, I'll fucking try it. I didn't think nothing of it. And I was fucking throwing more heat than Tim. And then he's like, damn, you're pretty good. He's like, and then he actually walked over and went to go talk to my parents. It's like, hey, you need to sign him up for baseball. And then ever since then, I would fucking be into baseball and playing and blah, blah, blah. And I regret not playing in high school. But yeah, no, I loved it. And it was just something that just nothing wrong with my parents or anything like that. They just didn't grow up with that sport. Like we played soccer when we were kids, fucked around with boxing. And then my dad was in martial arts. I never got into martial arts school or anything, but like there's just certain things that they're into that they were just so busy with work that I know they wish they would have probably taught me, but they were both working, they were both tired and blah 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 blah.
But so, I understand, like now I don't hold so much shit against my dad. It's like working, coming home from work and then having to do homework, bathing, feeding, and then some nights have practice. Well, now because both kids are playing both nights, like all basically the whole week having practice, it's a fucking toll. And then still trying to figure out how to keep yourself in shape, how to take care of yourself, and then also give something to your significant other. Like just trying to keep all those aspects somewhat contained or somewhat just in the middle where everyone has a little bit of everything. It's just like you just don't feel like you have enough time. You don't still feel like
look, obviously I'm single, so I don't worry about that stuff. But I mean, I understand it because I've been in relationships, but I haven't understand it to a point where it's like I'm in a relationship with this person, I live with this person, I have a kid with this person, and I have to wake up every day, or multiple kids, wake up every day and have to like
work,
give them all that love and blah blah blah, and like that's
because you're gonna lack somewhere. It's you're human. It's a given.
But I mean, going back to that whole thing is like, I know right now is like I have time and all this other stuff. Technically, even though I feel like I don't, but I should be working towards like being a better me, building myself, and blah 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 blah. I can't imagine trying to go after your goals and again building yourself and trying to be a better you when you have so many other people to worry about too. That must be fucking challenging.
Well, yeah, that's why I feel like I'm a failure, because I've tried to do the clothing thing. I've tried to do I've tried to do so many things, but
it's not really a failure. It's just
yeah, it's not. But at the same time, it's like I didn't finish through it. I didn't. I feel like I'm so creative, but at the same time, I can't put my everything into one thing because I have to divide it up somehow.
Well, I think is something that I've learned. Is I feel like I'm a creative too, and I know like there's a lot of things that about working with designers or working with certain people and blah blah blah. I always give them ideas and they're like, oh, that's good, yeah, that works, and I've been able to create things or figure things out, and then the best thing that I ever did was apply myself and just learned it myself. And I've never wanted to do that. I never wanted to take the time to do it myself because I figured I could just work with someone, they'll bring it to life. But it's like this. I know that's how you are.
Exactly. And I'm the idea guy.
Yeah, and it bugs me because it's like I'm the idea guy too. But I've the more I've applied myself to it and learned that it's just ultimately helped me because I don't have to depend on anybody else.
You're on some Rush shit.
And so yeah, I think that's what you need. And I think whether it be like just looking on YouTube and learning in classes and studying how to like like you're into design or whatever it is, anything that has to do with the podcast, you actually apply yourself and take some time, which I know time's scarce, but the coronavirus has everyone at home, so you can do it
now, yeah.
And you can figure some shit out.
Yeah, I need to go pee, so I don't know if I want to end it right now.
Yeah, so fucking coronavirus.
I'm about to piss my pants.
But before we end this, I just want to say 7125media.com and reach out to us at info@7125media.com. We have Instagram, 7125media, YouTube, 7125media, Twitter, 7125media. We don't really post anything on there, but we'll get better at it. But yeah, reach out with questions. Doesn't matter what it is. We'd like to bring it up on the podcast. Even if you just say who you are, where you're from, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, 7125media.com, and we're out.